Welcome to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. Get ready to be inspired, uplifted, and connected to the miraculous energy of unconditional love that I call Mother Mary. If you're a highly sensitive, highly creative entrepreneur or light worker, and you want to magnify your impact and your intuition, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Reverend Frances Faden, interfaith minister, intuitive coach, and author of Meditation is Friendship with God. I can't wait to share miraculous stories, books, meditations, messages, and interviews with other miraculous light workers just like you. Are you ready to magnify your miracles? What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Frances Faden, and I'm so grateful that we get to spend this time together today talking about one of my favorite books. Before we jump into that, let's take a few deep breaths together, just get ourselves grounded and centered and really ready to receive this amazing, miraculous blessing of information that you're going to be getting today. So if you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road. You can still bring your awareness to your breath. And just allowing yourself to very gently settle in, letting the body relax, letting the mind be open and receptive. As we start to feel that beautiful divine presence supporting us, knowing that whatever you're supposed to hear today will be exactly what you're meant to hear. Let's take one more deep breath together in gratitude, and we can begin. Yay! All right, well, thank you so much, my friend, for being here today. Today is a really special episode for me for two reasons. One is that I'm sharing with you one of my favorite books, and this is the book I think everybody on the spiritual path should have if you're interested in connecting with the angels. It's called Commune with the Angels, a Heavenly Handbook, and the name on it says Jayne M. Howard. And for those of you who know, my mentor is Reverend Jayne Howard. She now goes by Reverend Jayne Howard Feldman because she's married somebody since she wrote this book, but the book is still published under Jayne Howard. And next week, you're going to get to have the pleasure of meeting Jayne in an amazing interview that we're going to be doing. So tune in next week for next week's episode as well. But for today, I want to introduce you to this book. So this book was first published, I think, in 1992. And honestly, I think it's out of print. And you might be saying, now, Reverend Frances, why are you recommending a book that is out of print? Again, two reasons. One is because, in my opinion, it is the best book to connect you with the angelic realm and to help you start having a relationship with the angels. And I'll be going through this book and showing you why that's the case. And the second reason is because I just looked on Amazon and you can buy it used. So you might not be able to get it from your corner bookstore necessarily, but you can get this book. And for those of you who are interested in your spiritual growth, which I'm assuming you are, any of you who are highly sensitive, which I'm assuming that you are, I always say if you want to really grow spiritually and you're trying to figure out what to do, start with the angels. The angels are so easy to connect with because that's their job and they want to connect with us and they want to help us out, but you have to invite them in. And this book is going to show you how to do that in all these beautiful ways. So again, this is the book Commune with the Angels by Reverend Jayne Howard Feldman. And I'm looking at my copy that I got from 1994 and it's autographed by Jayne. I hope I don't cry. She has been my mentor all these years. And ever since 1994, which is the year that my mom crossed over, Janie's been in my life and has been a huge blessing for me. And it's been since 1984 that I had my angelic attunement with her. And you're going to be hearing a little bit more about that next week. But I highly recommend that you get an angelic attunement with Jayne while you can. It's one of the most life-changing things that you can do. And from that point forward, I started communing with Archangel Michael. And you know how I always say when I do my guided meditations, that you feel that angel standing behind you. It's your guardian angel. Well, that's the first way I felt Michael's energy, is I felt this presence behind me doing a little meditation circle with my friends back in 1994. And I was like, who is standing behind me? And it was Archangel Michael. So that angelic attunement is really, really powerful. So she's got 10 beautiful chapters in here, starting with believe in the angels, learn about the angels, meditate with the angels, pray with them, share with them. My favorite chapter, healing with the angels, honor the angelic presence in all life. Chapter 8 is attuned to the angels, which we were just talking about. 9 is expect angelic blessings, and 10 is be an angel. Now, Jayne is amazing, and she actually created an international holiday called Be an Angel Day that happens on August 22nd of every year. And I'm recording this podcast in August. And so it's one of the reasons I wanted to bring Jayne on in the month of August, is because we have Be an Angel Day this month. It's a very, very powerful month. So this book, she's actually written a few books. This is the very first one that was published. And for me, this is the cornerstone because it is a handbook. And she was writing this about how she was able to go through a really challenging time in her life. She was going through a divorce, and it was really challenging and really difficult. And she was also wanting to bring forward her ministry with the angels. And, you know, she's just human like you and I, and went through a lot of really tough things, but the angels really helped her through. So a lot of people that I'm talking to right now in this month of August 2021 are going through really hard things, really hard things. I've been praying for everybody. And I recommend that you be praying for everybody and pray for yourself. And we really need to up our vibration this month because there's a lot of really challenging energy that's on the planet. But I wanted to make known to you that there is a resource that can help you. And that resource is the angels. And one of the best ways to do that is to read this book, and you start to learn about the angels. So she is an amazing collector of information, and you're going to learn more about the angels than you ever knew. Jayne is definitely an angel scholar, an angelologist, I guess we could call her. And she talks about her experience of being 11 and first having her very first experience with the angels. So this is on page number 3. I'm going to just read a little bit to you, and then I'm going to go to the 2 chapters that I wanted to share with you. She says at the bottom of page 3, there are many ways to commune with the angels, and I'm glad to be able to share them with you in this book. One of the best ways to begin is to allow yourself to experience life's simple joys, like taking the time to appreciate the wonders of nature as she did when she was a child. I feel as though I was raised by a pair of human angels, for that is the gift that they gave me as my parental teachers, to take the time and appreciate what God gives us for free. I believe that the family of God not only includes human beings, animals, and plants, but a vast hierarchy of spiritual intelligences who help govern the universe and help people like you and me to keep our mistakes to a minimum. The hierarchy includes the 4 and 20 elders mentioned in the Revelation of St. John and the elemental forces spoken of in the psychic readings of Edgar Cayce. Additionally, there is a colorful, powerful array of beings, angels, whose purpose is to help us live our lives fully and peacefully. God created the kingdom of the angels to assist him in manifesting the physical form of the nature kingdom and to assist the human kingdom in its growth. So I love all of that. And I'm going to turn to 2 of my favorite chapters. You know, I love the energy of prayer. And so chapter 4 is Pray with the Angels. And so on page number 76, she writes, prayer is a spiritual conversation with God. It's a way of communicating with God in which you send your message outward rather than receive one inward. When you pray, you affirm your birthright as a son or daughter of God to make personal requests, petitions, and proclamations to the Creator. In order for prayer to work, we must first believe in the power of God to make changes in our lives. The principle is similar to when a child is learning to ride a bicycle. The child must first admit a degree of faith in the idea of bicycling. So it is with prayer. With faith, you can let go of what is troubling you and turn it all over to God, acknowledging that God has the power to give you answers and guidance. There is power in prayer because through your words, you are invoking the one presence and the one energy behind all life. God's sustaining presence and power are ready to help in any situation in life, and the angels encourage us to ask God daily for what we need. In their book, Prayer Can Change Your Life, authors Dr. William R. Parker and Elaine St. John's write, "The measure of the help you can get through prayer is limited only by the size of the cup that you hold up to be filled. God is unlimited in what he can do." When we pray, we remind ourselves that God is a part of our lives and that wonderful things can happen just for the asking. I marvel at the many ways in which God has brought good into my life because of my prayers. Prayer is really a survival technique for me, and my work with the angels has intensified my belief in its importance. I pray upon waking in the morning and in the evening before I fall asleep. I really enjoy it because my connection with the angels has shown me that it's just one more way in which I can commune with them. I pray with others in church services and in prayer circles. I pray at various times throughout my workday for myself and others. And during my angel workshops, I invite people to give me names and blessings for which I can pray. That's how much I enjoy seeing this powerful tool work in our lives. Prayer is so important to me that I often wonder why anyone tries to survive without it. And then on page 77, she says, "I always use an invocation at the beginning of my workshops to acknowledge the sacredness and ceremonial energy of the cooperation between the earthly and heavenly kingdoms. The invocation is really a prayer offered to the angelic realm. I pray to the angels for their guidance and assistance in revealing to the workshop participants the love and light of God and the angels. The invocation invites the angels to join us and make known our sincere desire to welcome them into the workshop and into our lives. I recommend that you try to recite an invocation before you pray in honor of the divinity within you and of all the angels who are about to join you in prayer." And then she goes on to say that there's no specific prayer that you need to say. A simple thing is, as she says on page 78, "In God's name, I invoke the angels to add their power to my prayers." So you can take whatever prayers that you're saying, my friends, and you can just take Reverend Jayne's advice here and just say, "In God's name, I invoke the angels to add their power to my prayers." So beautiful. At the bottom of page 78, she says, "Angels are actually living prayers. Through their service to humanity, they become the energy of prayer in action and expression. They love nothing better than to join you in your thanksgiving to God, to rejoice with you in the blessings in your life, and to be part of your worship and adoration of God." And then at the top of page 79, "The angels are ministering spirits who want to amplify, magnetize, and multiply your prayer requests to God." And you know me, what I would say is the angels are here to magnify your prayers. So she goes through so many things in this chapter and encouraging you to pray and how you can pray, different things that you can do for all kinds of situations. And now I'm going to go on to chapter number 7. And on page 145, this is what she says. "Anyone who has experienced the angels firsthand knows the thrill of what their unique light energy is like. It's a special, subtle, exhilarating sensation that makes you feel secure, happy, and loved inside. But angelic light energy also has a way of helping you experience the oneness of all life, and that you are an important part of that oneness. It works the other way too. The closer you become to the angels by actually looking for the light of oneness in life, the closer you will draw to the angelic kingdom. It works like a magnet. Every time you pause to observe a gentle rain, see the sun shining through the drops, or appreciate God's light show when a magnificent rainbow spreads across the sky, know that these gentle observances honor the divinity in all creation." As I've mentioned before, divine energy is stepped down to our level of perception through the angelic kingdom. I'm going to repeat that because I really want you to hear that. Divine energy is stepped down to our level of perception through the angelic kingdom. And then she goes on to say, so when I see little white snowbells bursting forth from the tree at winter's end, or a robin hopping across my yard in the early spring, I know the angels are helping me to see messages of God's presence in all life. I can hear them whispering to me, God is here, God is there, God is everywhere. Now, I just want to pause there for a minute and say, sometimes people are saying, well, why would I connect with the angels? And when we think of the vastness of the universe and we think about all that awesome power that is the divine presence, and then we think about ourselves and our human bodies with our five senses and how even a dog whistle is beyond what our ears can hear. Imagine what's beyond what our perceptions can take in when we're looking at infinite universes and imagining what those might even be. Well, the angels, it's kind of like when you have electricity, you have this powerful electricity. Electricity has to go through a transformer so that it can come into your house and be usable and not blow up your house or set your house on fire. If it just came in as that, like lightning, if it came in as raw energy and it's not channeled, it's not as usable for you. Well, the angels are a similar way, my friends. They step down the energy to our level of perception so that we can actually connect with them and relate with them. This is why I love this book, because Jayne is an earth angel, in my opinion, and she has stepped down her experience with the angels to our perception so that we can understand it. Okay, let me see here. There was one more thing I wanted to share with you. So she says at the end of page 146, the angels encourage us to take time to honor the divinity, the light of God in all life and in all seasons. As I said above, taking time to appreciate life, every leaf, every blade of grass, every flower, to love all the animals and the plants, and especially human life, will bring you closer to the angels and therefore closer to God. God is in all of us, in all places, in all things. God is all. Consuela Newton, a teacher and lecturer in the field of higher consciousness and the originator of the integrated awareness technique by which you can learn to develop your intuition, is also the creator of a powerful affirmation which I often use. It reads as follows, and this is on the top of page 147. Here's the affirmation. I am the light. The light is within me. The light moves throughout me. The light surrounds me. The light protects me. I am the light. And I'm just going to see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. The one thing I will share is we have the explanations of the archangels in the Learn About the Angel chapter, which is so important. So in my work that I've done with Reverend Jayne, I work with the 12 archangels. You know me mostly working with the 4, because there's 4 major archangels that I work with: Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. Those are the 4 that work with me with Mother Mary. The number 4 is very connected with Mother Mary. But on page 42 and 43, there's this beautiful chart that Jayne has in here of the 12 rays of God's consciousness and the archangel, and the feminine archangel is called an archaii that's associated with each one. So I'm just going to go over these for you. The first ray is Michael, and the archaii is faith. The second ray is Jophiel, and the archaii is Constance. The third ray, let me go back to the beginning. The first ray is God's will. That's Michael and archaii faith. The second ray is enlightenment, and that's Archangel Jophiel and archaii Constance. The third ray is divine love, and that's Archangel Shamuel and archaii Charity. The fourth ray is purity, and that's Archangel Gabriel and archaii Hope. The fifth ray is truth and healing. That's Archangel Raphael. And she has down here Mother Mary. I never think of Mother Mary as a feminine archangel, but there's no rules, so why not? The sixth one is, the sixth ray of God is grace, ministering grace. It's Archangel Uriel and archaii Donna Grace. The seventh ray of God is freedom, and that's Archangel Zadkiel and archaii Holy Amethyst. The eighth ray is clarity. That's Archangel Aquariel and archaii Clarity. The ninth ray is harmony, Archangel Anthriel and archaii Harmony. The 10th ray is peace, and it's Archangel Valuel and archaii Peace. The 11th ray is divine purpose, and that's Archangel Perpetual and archaii Joy. And the 12th ray is transformation, Archangel Omniel and Archangel Opalescence. I often work with them with the 12 months of the year. You can work with them with the 12 houses in astrology, the 12 signs of astrology. It's all connected and it's all amazing. So this, my friends, I would honestly, what I want to do is read this whole book to you, but I just wanted to give you enough of a sense to feel Jayne's amazing energy. She's got a few other books than this. So if you love this book, I encourage you to get her other books. But if you don't have this book, please add it to your library. It's going to help you so much to connect with the angels. I'm looking at it and I'm like, God, I got to go back and reread this book. It's so chock full of wonderful, amazing, high, miraculous energy. This book is definitely a book that will help you, my friends, to magnify your miracles. Now, remember, next week, we're going to get to spend some time with Reverend Jayne Howard Feldman. I'm so excited. Whenever I get to spend time with her, I start to buzz. My energy buzzes because she's so connected to the angelic realm and that high, high frequency. And she wants all of us to be connected to that high frequency. That is why she wrote this book. And that's why she offers her ongoing programs. I am going to put in the show notes for you the link to where you can find the book on Amazon. As I said, it is out of print, but you can get copies of it. I'm also going to put a link to her website, and I will highly recommend to you that you get an angelic attunement with her if you can, and really plug yourself in to the angelic vibration. It will transform your life the way that it's to transform my life. It has been truly, truly miraculous. So thank you so much, my friends. Always remember that the key to magnifying your miracles is to remember that your miracle's already here, my friends, already here. Work with the angels and you will increase your awareness of that truth tenfold, because the angels love to bring us more and more miracles. God bless each and every one of you. I would love to hear your thoughts about the angels. Have you had angel encounters? And if you did love this episode, if you could let your friends know about it, I would so appreciate it if you could leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and just spread the light. Anything that you can do to spread the light not only helps me, helps the universe, it helps all of us that are light workers. Thank you so much, my friend. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. I'm so grateful to be able to spend this time with you. If you want even more inspiration, feel free to visit my website, francisfaden.com or magnifyyourmiracles.com. And if you did enjoy this episode, I would really appreciate it if you left a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever it is that you connect with awesome podcasts. Remember, the key to magnifying your miracles is remembering that your miracle is already here.